I just picked up this alternate art for Doctor Strange along with these 3 desperate defenses. So for this video, I wanted to play Doctor Strange in protection, and since his precon came in protection, I thought it was the perfect opportunity to also talk about something that I think is really important, which is updating precon decks. So instead of coming up with a brand new deck idea from scratch, you can just make a couple adjustments to a precon deck and then have a very powerful deck. So the basic idea behind Doctor Strange is that he has this invocation deck and he can exhaust his identity and then pay the cost of the top card of the invocation deck, and then get this effect. So this one gives 3 characters tough status cards. This one lets you switch a status card in play to a different one. This one lets you draw 3. This one confuses the villain and lets you remove 4 threat from a scheme. And this one deals 7 damage to an enemy and then also stuns it. These are kind of the core of what Doctor Strange wants to do. And I think the precon deck actually did a very good job of playing around the invocation deck. So let's go over what his precon deck has. It has the Sorcerer Supreme, which increases hand size by 1 while you're in hero form, but you have to have the Mystic trait, which he does. Avenger's Mansion, which gives him card draw. It also is especially good with Doctor Strange because he has good economy with Winds of Batum. 3 double resources, which I'd love to see that. 2 power of protections, which again, more resources is really good. And then he actually comes with 3 really good allies. So Brother Voodoo is a mystic that says after Brother Voodoo enters play, search the top 5 cards of your deck for an event card and add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. And Doctor Strange has very powerful events, and it's also on theme, another mystic. Clea, another mystic, when Clea is defeated, shuffle her into her owner's deck, which is really fun because you won't be without an ally if you're looking to get an ally because she can keep going into your deck. Then we have Iron Fist here. Iron Fist is one of my favorite allies in the entire game. He enters play with 2 mystic counters on him. And then when Iron Fist attacks an enemy, remove 1 mystic counter from him, stun that enemy, and deal 1 damage to it, which is amazing. Getting to stun an enemy twice, and he has a pretty good attack stat. So he'll be dealing 3 damage 2 times, stunning twice, and then you can block with him or attack again if you need. That is fantastic. Night Nurse, also very good and on theme with his, doctor side, which is actually just his normal name. Night Nurse comes in with 3 medical counters, exhaust the Night Nurse and remove a medical counter from her, heal 1 damage from a hero, and discard 1 status card from it, which is really good when you're stunned and confused, not so good when you're tough. 2 copies of Med Team, which is great, which heals you up. It's from the corebox, also on theme with being a doctor. Then 3 copies of Unflappable. Place under any player's control, max 1 per player. After you defend against an attack and take no damage, exhaust Unflappable and draw 1 card. This is like one of the core cards in protection that came out here. We have Momentum Shift, another really cool card. Hero Action Attack, heal 2 damage from your hero, deal 2 damage to an enemy, which I like this card. It's just really fun. Desperate Defense. When your hero defends against an attack, it gets +2 defense for that attack, and if you take no damage from that attack, ready your hero. And notice he has 2 defense, which is not bad. This gives him +2, and then getting the ready means that he'll still be able to use his invocation deck after he defends, which is pretty cool. And then 3 copies of Warning. When a hero would take any amount of damage, reduce that amount by 1. So honestly, this precon deck is probably one of the most solid, if not the most solid precon deck in the game. It's so good. It has the economy he needs, has an economy support, an upgrade that increases his hand size, it has 3 great allies, it has all the double resources. Med Team's good, Night Nurse is really good, this card's really good, this card's really good. But there is something that we can do. Also, for anyone that was wondering, I used my Doctor Strange insert card to remember what was in his precon deck. I keep all of these as like a little collector's item for myself. So, in my opinion, all of these cards are pretty good. But there's a couple things that we can do to make it better. Unflappable. One of the easiest things that you can do when you're editing a Precon deck is find things that are max 1 per player. So since I'll be playing solo for this playthrough, I can't place it under any other player's control. But in general, max 1 per player stuff, you can bring that down to 1 copy and not feel that bad about it. So if we cut these two, and then we look at warning, this card, it just isn't really all that good. So we can just cut this card. So it's 3 cards that we cut. And then momentum shift, heal 2 damage from your hero, deal 2 damage to an enemy. Which is fine. It doesn't really fit the strategy as well though. So I'll bring this one down to 2 copies because, again, I don't need it as much. Because the core of this, what it really wants to do here is defend, not take damage, draw cards, and then you already have Med Team to heal up, and Doctor Strange gives a lot of tough status cards and stuff. So I feel like dropping down to 2 of this gives us some extra room. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra cards that we can add. So the identity of this Precon deck, again, we want to be able to defend, use Desperate Defense, not take damage, and then draw a card and get to ready. So this signals to me that I want to find a way to increase my defense. So he has one way to do that in his kit already, which is his magical enhancements, which gives a character +1 thwart, +1 attack, and +1 defense. And then when the round ends, you discard it. So he already has 2 of these, which will help him out with that, increasing his stats. But I do want to increase his defense stat further. And a great way to do that, that's also from the core box, is just going to be a copy of Armored Vest, which I flip through my cards. I have one right here, but I just don't want to use the one with the sticker. Here's one. So we got a copy of Armored Vest, which should help us out with this. Now we have 5 more slots remaining. Another great card that we can add would be Nick Fury. Also comes in the core box. So he can join our ally roster. Mockingbird again from the core box, another great ally. So we can put these 2 allies in, which will help us out a little bit. It'll give us a few more targets to get our tough status cards. And then with the last 3 slots, I think we can just throw in 3 copies of Haymaker, because it might be nice to have a little bit of extra damage that we can just use with our high economy. And then this version of the deck is still very much in line with what the Precon was trying to do, except with a couple changes, because again, I don't think I need 3 copies of this. Warning is just not that good. And then we don't need 3 copies of Inflammable. And of course, there's a lot of ways that you can do this. I was just sticking to core box only cards, because if all you have is the core box and Doctor Strange, you can play this deck and it'll be totally functional and fun and a little bit better than the Precon, at least in my opinion. So now let's pick a villain and test it out. One final thing is that instead of using the old art for Desperate Defense, I'm going to use the new art that I got, because that was the whole point of me doing this. And I think that I might want to take on Taskmaster, because I haven't played him in a while. And since I'm playing Protection, I probably won't need to go to Alter Ego, so it might be a good matchup that's fun for me. So for setup, I have to put each captive ally aside. Speaking of, I really hope that we get these heroes someday. I think these would all be really, really great heroes to get, especially Shang-Chi. I'm really looking forward to Shang-Chi. Then I gotta search for Hydra Patrol and put it into play, which I think is actually in his mod set. So I need Taskmaster, Hydra Patrol, Standard, and then 1 modular. So we have the Hydra Patrol mod set here, and that's going to come into play. And I've got the Standard and Expert sets right here that can also go into the encounter deck. I believe that's it. They'll just double check. Taskmaster, Hydra Patrol, Standard, and Weapons Master. Yep, that's it. And this comes into play with 2 per player threat on it. And since I'm doing Expert, I'll start with Taskmaster 2. Okay, we've got the deck shuffled up enough. And we want to shuffle up our deck as well, which, since it's totally organized, I'll just give it one of these, and then go do a dealing shuffle. I like to do this when I have a deck completely organized for some reason, so I can kind of split up my resources and everything before I start shuffling, because I don't always get all the groups out. Sometimes I still end up with like clumps of stuff together when I shuffle. Also, it helps me to count my cards to make sure I actually have the correct amount of cards in my deck. Okay, that should be good enough. I got my invocation deck here, which I need to shuffle this up as well. And then final thing, before I flip the main scheme, I'm going to set our health. Doctor Strange begins with 10. That's actually up there now. I'm not used to that. Taskmaster has 16. There we go. And my invocation deck I'll just keep that here. Maybe I'll switch sides actually. I'll have my normal deck right here, and then the invocation deck off to the side on the right. Okay. So I've set each captive ally aside out of play. I searched for Hydra Patrol and put it into play. I shuffled the encounter deck. So now I'm here. It says the notorious Taskmaster has been appointed Hydra's chief of police. His top priority is hunting down the outlaw heroes. Force response after resolving step 1 of the villain phase. Each player in hero form must choose to either place 1 threat here or take 1 damage. And if this stage is completed, the players lose the game. That begins with 1 threat on it, and it will go up by 1 per player. And I'll just have to remember that force response of choosing to take 1 damage or placing a threat there. I think with this build, when I don't have tough, it might not matter. Maybe I'll take the damage because I can heal up a few different ways with this deck. But when I have tough, I'll probably be putting the damage down. And then the top card of my invocation deck is my 7 Rings of Ragador, which isn't actually ideal at the start. But let's see what my hand actually has. And if I don't have allies, I'll maybe get rid of that one. And then this has a when revealed of dealing each player an encounter card. I don't want to forget that. And after a player changes to hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of boost icons on that card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is my starting hand. I like the Magic Blast. Maybe I'll keep that. Protective Ward is nice. I could get down Clea and do 7 Rings of Ragador. So if I have this double here, 3 for the Magic Blast, I would not be able to afford the 7 Rings of Ragador. I could just do that on the next turn, or I could mulligan further for a double. I think I'll mulligan for a double. So I'll discard these cards and draw 3 more. Didn't get a double. That's okay, that just means I'll be closer to my doubles next time. I did get my 1 copy of Unflappable, which could be nice. And I think in the spirit of playing the Precon deck, I will play it. Okay. So now it's my turn. I think I probably will play Clea. I'll play Unflappable, and I'll play 7 Rings of Ragador with this. And I'll hold Magic Blast in my hand. So I'll flip up into hero now. And then after a player changes to hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of boost icons on that card. There are 2 boost icons on that card. So that already brings me down to 8 health, which isn't great. And I'll play Clea using Genius. Clea comes into play. She can I don't know what I want her to do yet. And then Doctor Strange won't ready yet, so I'll get rid of the Haymaker to play Unflappable. And then I think I'll just have Clea. This has a when defeated. I'll get a Hydra minion. I'll have Clea just thwart one here. And she takes 1 consequential for doing that. And then Doctor Strange will exhaust and spend the med team to play the 7 Rings of Ragador, which gives up to 3 characters each a tough status card. Place this card in the invocation discard pile. So I get up to 3, so I'll give Clea a tough status card and Doctor Strange a tough status card. And then I'll ready them up. Okay. And this goes in my invocation discard pile. Next is going to be my Crimson Bands of Sidorak. Okay, I'll draw up to my hand size now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now the main scheme goes up by 1. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player in hero form must choose to either place 1 threat here or take 1 damage. I will place the threat here because I'm tough right now. Then Taskmaster will attack me for 2, plus a boost icon of if you are in hero form, take 1 damage, otherwise place 1 threat on the main scheme. So I am in hero form. So that triggers and actually knocks off my tough. And then I will still take 2 damage from Taskmaster. So that was really bad. And now I get 2 encounter cards. Exhaustion. Okay. So I exhaust my identity and it surges into captured by Hydra. When revealed, place 1 random set-aside captive ally face down beneath the scheme. When the scheme is defeated, the player defeated it takes that ally into their hand and removes the scheme from the game. So I have these random ones. Set 1 random set aside face down. So I'll shuffle these up. I'll roll this d4. 1. So this is going to be my captive ally, which I don't know what it is. It has 5 threat on it. The threat's kind of getting out of hand here. I don't have any thwarting. Okay. And then this one, Assault. When revealed, hero, the villain attacks you. So I'll have Clea block this one. So it's 2 plus a boost, 3, 4, 5 damage. Takes Clea's tough status card off. And resolves that. How do I want to do this? Oh, I had Protective Ward in my hand. Should I have canceled the exhaustion? It still would have surged, but I would have had to exhaust. It's fine. I didn't choose to. So I won't do that now. I have a couple options. I can Magic Blast and just see what icon I get, and maybe I get a Stunning Confused and 7 damage. That'd be cool. Or I can play Mockingbird, which, since things aren't going that well right now, Mockingbird might be a better choice, because I can't play my Crimson Bands anyways. And I can hold the Protective Ward in my hand, just in case things go really bad. I think I'll do that. So I'll spend 3 to play Mockingbird. She comes into play and can stun an enemy. So that'll stun Taskmaster. And then, do I have her search or do that Hydra Patrol? I'd get a minion right now, or I could have her start working on getting that ally, which that could be more useful getting this down. Because if I get a minion right now, I'm not really ready to deal with it at this point. So I think I'll have her thwart over here. She takes a consequential there, and I'll hold these 2 in my hand, and then ready everyone and drop to my hand size. Okay. The Avengers Mansion could be really cool here. I cannot play a protective ward and still afford the mansion, so let's hope I don't have to. So here, now I choose to place a threat here or take damage. I'll take the damage because I have this crisis icon out still. Taskmaster doesn't activate against me because he's stunned. Then I get one encounter card, which is Combat Knife attached to the villain. The attached villain's attacks gain piercing. And then to get rid of it, I have to spend a mental and a physical resource. Okay. So I can actually afford the mansion here. So I think I'll do that. I'll spend these 4 to get out the mansion. I'll draw a card. Wong. And do I Crimson Bands of Sidorak here, or do I play Wong? Wong could be great at healing me up. Yeah, this is kind of a tough one, right? I can just play the Crimson Bands, though. Deal 7 to him and stun him. This is a tough one. I think now I'm ready to deal with that minion, though. So, or do I just want to get this ally out? So I can thwart 4. I think I'll get the ally. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Clea's defeated, but I did remove this. So when Clea is defeated, I shuffle her into her owner's deck. So she goes into my deck. And I also get to see what this ally is. Place one random set-aside captive ally. When this scheme is defeated, the player defeated takes that ally into their hand. So that's going to be Shang-Chi. Nice. He was the one that I was liking. And remove this scheme from the game. So this is removed from the game entirely. Shang-Chi comes into my hand. And I can play Shang-Chi right now, which I think I will. So I'll play him for 0. And then response after you play Shang-Chi from your hand, spend a energy resource and stun an enemy. So I can spend this energy on magical blast to stun Taskmaster again. And then I think Shang-Chi can just stick around. I'll have Wong out. And then I can finish the Hydra Patrol, take out the minion, and then start thwarting the main scheme. So I'm going to ready up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Main scheme goes by 1. It's at 5. So I'll replace all these with a 5. It's at 5 of 12. Now, after resolving step 1, I choose either take a damage or place a threat. If I place a threat, it brings it up to 6. I don't think Taskmaster is going to scheme for 6. I'm not really looking forward to taking more damage. Still haven't seen my thwart, though. But Shang-Chi and Doctor Strange's basics can start dealing with that. So I'll add a threat. And now Taskmaster is stunned. I get 1 encounter card, which is an advance, just like what I was talking about. So 2, 3, 4, threat onto the main. Bring that up to 10. It's funny how when you don't decide not to play around advance, it always comes out. And when you decide to play around advance, like, oftentimes it doesn't. Okay, now it's my turn. And Mockingbird should have 1 more consequential. Okay, I will draw a card with Avengers Mansion. Momentum Shift. Heal 2 damage from a hero to deal 2 damage from an enemy. That's not all that useful here. How do I want to do this? I want to play the Eye of Agamotto. 1, 2. I want to play Wong as well. Can I do I just do that? So I spend 2 to play the Eye of Agamotto. I spend 1, 2, 3 to play Wong. And then I think I just have Mockingbird finish this because I need to jump up and get on thwarting now. Each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra Mini and puts it in play engage with them. So I can search it, so I can choose the one I want. So I think there's like a Hydro regular in here. Has 2 and Sight 1 brings up to 11. Yeah, I'll just grab this guy. So I'll grab the Hydro regular. Shuffle up the encounter deck. It incites 1, but I can just take this guy out really easily. Mockingbird is defeated by consequential damage. And then let's have Wong take out this Hydra regular. Then we can have Shang-Chi and Doctor Strange thwart off here. Bring that down to 7. We get 2 consequentials. And that will be all. Looks like things are looking up. So I draw 5 cards. Nick Fury, Master of the Mystic Arts, Magic Blast. Don't have any thwarting, but I can use Desperate Defense here, and it actually looks pretty good. So main scheme goes up by 1. I'll choose to take the damage because that's getting high. He's attacking me for 3. And I use Desperate Defense and use the Eye of Agamotto to pay for it. When I defend, I get +2, so I am defending for 4. So he has to get a single boost here. But let's see. Let's see if it works out. 3, 4. Nice. So I defended and took no damage, so I get to ready my hero. And then I get an encounter card. Renfield hero, you're stunned. Deal 1 damage to your hero. If you're 2 damage instead if you're already stunned. So I'm stunned and I take a damage. But luckily, I'm just looking to thwart here. So it's my turn now. I will draw a card. Sanctum Sanctorum. Could be good if I'm going to Alter Ego. I think I'll just play Nick from this spot. Nick comes in, draws me 3. 1, 2, 3. Astral Projection. I actually got my thwart, so that's really nice. So I'll spend 2 now for my Astral Projection. Choose a scheme, remove 3 threat from that scheme, and look at the top card of the encounter deck. For each boost icon on that card, remove 1 additional threat. So I'll choose the main, 1 boost icon, and I know that it's going to be a 1 boost. So that removes 4 threat. And then Nick can thwart 2. Shang-Chi can thwart 2. Wong can exhaust to heal Doctor Strange for 1. And Doctor Strange will attack to get rid of stunned. And these 2 take consequential. And yeah, things are looking pretty good here. So I'll probably start going through my invocation deck now. Now that I got everything under control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That armored vest will be pretty nice. Okay. 1 threat on the main. And then I'll choose to place a threat there. Nick will block this attack. So 3, 4. Takes out Nick. Deals me an encounter card. Weapon Master. When revealed hero, the villain attacks you. If they have a weapon attachment, this card gains Surge. I don't have Protective Ward. So Taskmaster is going to attack me again. I guess I'll block with Shang-Chi here. It's actually good because my deck is getting thin, so I want to get him in my deck again. So 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Takes out Shang-Chi. And since he had a weapon attachment, this card gains Surge. Hunted by Hydra, Insight 1. When revealed, each player in hero form takes 1 damage and discards 1 card at random from their hand. Okay, so I take a damage. I discard one of these randomly. Luckily, this hand isn't that important. I'll just ignore the 6 on here. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I lose my magical enhancements. Okay. I did not like that surge effect. Momentum shift could be good. So I'll start by drawing a card. Astral projection. That could also be good. I think I'll play my armored vest, making defending a little bit better on me. I will play a momentum shift. Heal 2 damage from my hero. Bring me up to 5. And deal 2 damage to an enemy. And then, do I astral project here? I think I'll just do the Crimson Band. Exhaust, spend 2. To Crimson Bands of Sidorak, which says to stun an enemy and deal 7 damage to it and place this card in the Invocation deck discard pile. So I stun him and deal 7 damage. Bring him down to 7 health. And I place this in the Invocation discard pile. Winds of a Tomb, so I'm going to have a pretty good turn here. And I can have Wong, Exhaust to heal me up to 6. There, that's looking nice. I am feeling good. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get an encounter card because I decked out. Found my Cloak of Levitation, which is going to be really good. Master of the Mystic Arts with Winds of a Tomb. That's going to be good. One more. So yeah, I'm going to be Winds of a Tombing twice and then just playing a bunch of cards is my plan. Main scheme goes up by 1. I choose a damage or threat there. I think I will choose the threat here. He's stunned. And then I get dealt another encounter card. So I have 2 to deal with now. First one, when revealed, hero, discard the top 5 cards of your deck. If an attack card was discarded this way, Taskmaster attacks me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did get an attack card as my last card. So Taskmaster is going to attack me. And I think I can just defend here. Yeah, I can just defend this. I have 3 defense. So he's attacking me for 3, 4, 5. So I take 2. Bring me down to 4 health. And then this one, attached to Taskmaster. When a player attacks Taskmaster, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Taskmaster and deal an equal amount of damage to that player's identity instead. Then discard this. Okay, so I just want to do a small attack on him. Now it's my turn. I draw with the Mansion. Mystical Studies. I'll spend Mystical Studies to play Master of the Mystic Arts. It says, pay the printed cost of the top card of the Invocation deck, resolve its special ability, then place it back on top. So I will draw 3 by spending 0. It places back on top. And then I will get 1. I don't think I really need the Night Nurse here. 2 for my Cloak of Levitation. The cloak will ready me up. Then I'll exhaust to resolve Winds of a Tomb, drawing me 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. This goes into the invocation discard pile. Images of icon now. That's pretty good. So I want to play the Sorcerer Supreme and Shang-Chi. I'll get the Sorcerer Supreme out. Getting a lot of upgrades out. Okay. I'll play Shang-Chi. And I spend an energy, which can be my... How about just power of protection to stun an enemy. So that stuns Taskmaster again. I'll spend this as a physical and this as a mental to discard this. Yeah, and then I'll hold the Desperate Defense in my hand. Shang-Chi will thwart. Wong can exhaust to heal me up. Okay, and yeah, I'm planning on using Desperate Defense here and using Unflappable. Seeing if that works out for me. I'm going to start using Ready Exhaust tokens. There's too many upgrades out. Okay, so I dropped my hand size. 4, 5, and it's now 6 because of the Sorcerer Supreme. Protective Ward is nice here. Main scheme goes up by 1. I will choose to place a threat there, bring it up to 5. He's stunned against me. I get dealt an encounter card, which is an advance, which I will not be dealing with that. I will spend a resource to play Protective Ward. When a treachery is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel all of its effects and discard it. Okay. Now it's my turn. I'll draw. Strength, that's pretty good. It would be nice to get these med teams out and just start healing up. Could also images of icon. Yeah, so I'll attack for 1. When a player attacks Taskmaster, prevent all damage that will be dealt. Deal an equal amount to that player's identity instead, and then discard it. So it gets rid of that. And then I will ready up. I'll spend 1, 2, 3 for a med team. That comes into play with 3 counters. I'll exhaust it to heal me 2, and it removes one of the medical counters. I can now play, I'll exhaust and spend my astral projection to resolve images of icon. Confuse the villain and remove 4th art from a scheme. Place this card in the invocation discard pile. So he's now confused as well. I can have Wong exhaust to heal me up. Also, last card is Vapors of Valtor. Shang-Chi can attack him for 2. Bring him down to 5. I'll get an exhaust token for him as well. There we go. I'll hold these 2 in my hand and ready everyone up. Wong will probably just cycle through Vapors of Valtor now. Okay, so drop to my hand size of 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got Clea, Momentum Shift, Magic Blast. Okay, main scheme goes up by 1. I'll choose to place a threat there instead of the damage. Taskmaster attacks me here. And will I just defend? Yeah, I'll just defend. I have 3 defense. So he's attacking me for 2, 3, 4. So I take 1. I haven't got my unflappable triggering yet. And then gang up. When revealed, the villain in each minion engaged with you attacks you. There's a hard choice here. Also, I think he has an extra one. Do I block with Wong? Or not Wong. I think I block with Shang-Chi. So he's going to attack me for 2. Boost, if you're in hero form, take 1 damage. Otherwise, place 1 threat on the main scheme. So take a damage, and Shang-Chi is defeated. And that resolves that. Okay, Wong can exhaust now to discard this. It says discard the choose heal 1 damage from your identity or discard the top card. So since that goes through my whole invocation deck, I'll do a little thing here. Shuffle this back up, and then I see what's on top. Images of icon. Also not great here. So maybe next turn I'll just have Wong cycle it again. So already up with Doctor Strange. I'll use this double to play a momentum shift, heal 2 damage for my hero, and deal 2 to an enemy. I think I want to wait on that actually, because I will have a lot of damage coming out. So, but first I can draw a card. Mockingbird. Maybe I just play Mockingbird and I just stun him up again. Yeah, that sounds good. So I will do that. I'll do the momentum shift to heal me 2 and deal 2 here. And then I'll spend these 3 for Mockingbird. When Mockingbird enters play, I get to stun an enemy. That'll be Taskmaster. And then Mockingbird and Doctor Strange. We'll just clear this off. Or do I want to have her attack? I think I want to have Mockingbird attack, actually. And Doctor Strange can attack as well. I'm not that worried about that right now. And the next turn, I can just have her flip it. Oh, I had an extra resource here that I forgot about. Whatever. That's okay. Also, my med team could have healed me up. So I can be at 9. I'll hold this magic blast. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Desperate defenses. Main scheme goes up by 1. He doesn't attack. And then I get 1 encounter card. Now he does attack. And I think I'll just block and use Desperate Defense. So I'm getting +2 for this. So I'm blocking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he attacks me for 4. So I don't take any damage. That lets me ready up from Desperate Defense. And this lets me draw a card. That was great. Looks like it's all over for Taskmaster. It's my turn. Mockingbird can take out this version of Taskmaster. Bringing out the third one. When revealed, deal each player an encounter card. And yep, I don't have to change the hero form. So now I can discard the top card here with Wong. I got my Crimson Bands of Sidorak. How much health does he have? 17. Nice. Okay, I'll draw a card with the Mansion. That decks me out, so I get a second encounter card. Do I have enough damage here? I might. I have 1, or I have 7. Ready. 8. I'm might be a little short. So if I do 3 for Magic Blast, 2 there, 2 there. Let's just go for it. So I will start by paying 2 with 1, 2 to resolve Crimson Bands of Sidorak, stunning an enemy and dealing 7. And then that brings the next one on top. I can ready up. I can spend 1, 2, 3, like that, on Magic Blast, which does deal 5 damage to an enemy, and discard the top card of my deck. Oh, it's a wild. So it deals 7 damage, bringing him down to 3. And stuns and confuses. He's already stunned and confused. That's funny. And, it looks like I'm 1 resource short of doing the Haymaker for the victory. Okay. So, Doctor Strange can just thwart 2 here. And I'll try to get him with a Haymaker on the next one. Yeah, I think that's fine. Or actually, yeah, that's fine. Actually, I think I would have rather done 7 Rings of Ragador, but I didn't, so we'll just keep that. Okay. So I dropped my hand size of 6, 4, 5, 6. And yeah, I really should have done the Rings of Ragador, because then I could have got all these toughs out here. But it'll stay interesting this way. What if I lose? So this goes up. I'll add a threat there. He doesn't attack me. I get dealt another encounter card, so I have 3 to reveal here. Hydra Soldier with Guard. When defeated, deal the engaged player an encounter card. Hunted by Hydra and Sight 1. Adding a threat here. When revealed, each player in hero form takes 1 damage and discards 1 red card at random from their hand. Just please not the Haymaker. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Strength. That's and then captured by Hydra. So I get another one of these allies. 1. This one goes under. This one has 5 threat. So all I gotta do is take out that guard and then Haymaker for the victory. So I have 4 damage right here. So I'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Taking out this guard, dealing me an encounter card. And then I'll use 1, 2 resources to Haymaker for the win, dealing 3 damage. And defeating Taskmaster on expert mode. So that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing with this edited Precon deck. His Precon deck is actually really solid, and it did a lot for protection. And yeah, I hope this was helpful for you. Either the Precon deck building or the gameplay, whatever it was. I hope you had a good time. And if you did, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Stay zesty.